G'day crew, nice to have your company on Goat Fantasy. It's the Round 20 Rage Trade edition. Monday Rage Trades brought to you by checkmyrate.au. Visit the website, it's free to use. Take control of your financial future. Brandon and the team will help you get a better home loan rate. Just mentioned the Goat Fantasy podcast, of course, hosted by Drew Jones. Nice to have your company. It's Monday Rage Trades, but it's a little bit late. Tuesday now, so in Hobart yesterday for the announcement of Ken Hinkley as the inaugural coach of the Tasmanian Devils. So busy time at Goat Fantasy HQ. Feels like a lifetime ago that Max Holmes hurt his ankle, a fracture and syndesmosis injury. He's had surgery, ruled out today by the Cats for 8 to 10 weeks, so not back till potentially prelim final weekend for the Catters. And of course, we know that that rules him out of the rest of the fantasy season. Pretty valuable player in the context of Geelong's run home, where they have multiple games against easy opposition. So unfortunately, for a large portion of Supercoach and AFL fantasy owners, and certainly teams that are going well, probably have Max Holmes. So he's going to have to be traded out this week. So one of the names that we're looking at. We'll get to that in a moment. Just an injury update from around the grounds really quickly. There's not a heap to hit on this week, but Toby Green is out for 3 to 4 weeks with a quad strain, so a pretty good unique in recent times, the GWS captain, but he is out. Now, Will Day missed last week with a caught calf. He's not on the Hawks injury report, so you'd imagine pretty likely to return this week, and you can see why the Hawks rested him against that diabolical Richmond outfit last week. And then Isaac Heaney had back spasms in the loss to the Crows last Friday night, spent a fair portion of time on the bench. So again, he's not listed on the Swans injury report. He did train away from the main group today. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's in any doubt for Saturday. I think it's probably likely that he plays. Pretty important game for the footy club, for GWS as well, that Sydney derby. So I think Heaney pretty likely to play, but just one to monitor this week. Perhaps not a VC or C option, given he's sort of dealing with that back issue, which, as far as we're all aware, has popped up sort of pretty recently on the radar. So who are we looking at for Max Holmes? It feels like the buzz guy this week has been Wayne Miller. Massive score against the Swans. He got some extra distribution points without Rory Laird, who's out for the next 1 to 3 weeks with a syndesmosis concern. He's 897k in AFL fantasy. His price has never gotten totally out of hand. He's had 2 down spots early in the season. He dropped a couple of 60s before having a great run of form, and then just the last few weeks before he went out of the side with that hamstring, he was down a little bit, but he's been excellent in recent times. And the run for Adelaide is good. They're probably one of the few teams that plays both Richmond and Essendon in the run home. They've got the Pies on Thursday night this week. So green run is what people are saying about Miller from a defensive perspective. So 897 in fantasy, as I said, 511 in Supercoach. He could be the guy that comes into your side for Max Holmes. Unique options. There's the popular guys at the top end that we all know about. But the unique ones, Jake Bowie, it was good again last week. He's 500k in Supercoach. 875 in AFL fantasy. The D's are legit, and Jake Bowie's been great since he's come in second half of the year. Pretty rare for a guy to miss pre-season and hit the ground running so effectively, but he has been really good. Callum Mills, his run home not as good as Wayne Miller. Price pretty similar, 537 in Supercoach, 914 in AFL fantasy, but his scoring lately has been really good. The Swans captain. And the one that I'm actually bringing into my side this week, and a bit of it is because I need to free up some money to do another trade, but Jarman Impey. Now, I know that the Richmond matchup was obviously always going to be favourable for Hawks and for any player, to be honest. So he's coming off that. But without Amon in the team, there's extra points available for Impey, and the Hawks run home in general is pretty good. The price at $3.95, and I think he's in the 800s in AFL fantasy. Very cheap So he's a value buy for me because it allows me to take up a rookie. I think it's Swaddling all the way up to a premium and complete that team. So Impey is just the one I'm throwing in there because I like the look of him and I'm bringing him in Supercoach. And I would certainly say in fantasy you could do the same. Amon listed as 2 to 3 weeks after that knee procedure. All right, just looking around the grounds in the mids and the forwards. So Bontempelli is under $1 million. We've talked about him a lot this year. That tag score got his price net pretty low, and then he was fighting through that knee. But he's been pretty consistent. He's had a pretty good season. Expect he'll probably get another All-Australian blazer. He's been awesome for the Dogs. He's got the Richmond matchup this week, and they were just shocking against Hawthorn. They just don't have anyone that can go with Bontempelli. So if Bont wants to try and get a few votes back on Nick Dacos, this is an opportunity for him to have a big day against Richmond. So that's why I'm looking at him this week. And I wouldn't blame you if you were looking at Isaac Rankin, who didn't get tagged last week. He played well in a good win for the Crows, who are in really good form. He's 869k in fantasy. He's 452 in Supercoach. The run home for the Crows: Pies, Essendon, Tigers, Fremantle, GWS. The only drawback this week is he hasn't played against Collingwood since the homophobic slur against Isaac Quaynor last season. And the two teams have played twice since it's happened, but Rankin was suspended for both. Just not sure how the Pies are going to handle this one, if they're going to care. Could Ed Allen go with Rankin? Is he going to go to Jordan Dawson? Not sure. But for this week, for whatever reason, maybe it's a karma thing. I'm not sure that I can buy into Rankin this week. For those of you who are a little less superstitious, a bit more business-like in your approach, certainly buying into him this week makes sense. Mitigate against any forced trades. Next week, just get Rankin in and enjoy that good run of Essendon and Richmond in the 2 weeks after the Pies. Brad Hill is 995k in AFL Fantasy, and he's available as a back, a mid, and a forward. His break-even is 83, so he's going to be over $1 million. He's going to be Brad Mill going forward. Not as comfortable last week against the Cats, but he still managed to get himself to an okay score of about 85, 90 odd, and came home pretty hard. He can junk it with the best. And Brad Hill over $1 million is not something I saw on my bingo card this year. I still don't mind him as an option. And then some signs of life from Touk Miller, who had 40 disposals for the Suns and got good scores right across the board. Just a forward option for you, given how sparse it is in that forward line. Tom Sparrow was great as well for the Demons. Yeah, he's having a really superb season. He's not going to be a forward next year, so enjoy it while it's still on the table. And just on Richmond, who got absolutely destroyed by Hawthorn. Their run home is Dogs, West Coast, Crows, Saints, and then Geelong to finish. So just keeping in mind that they are going to be a matchup that you can take advantage of in the run home. They've been really bad. So if your player that you're thinking about trading in plays for one of those 5 teams, they'll get a guaranteed ceiling score, you'd think, against Richmond. And I think it's something that we should be exploiting on the run home. So this week, it's the Western Bulldogs. And that screams Marcus Bontempelli. I think Tim English will have a good week against Toby Nankervis, who traditionally concedes big scores. You know, there's plenty of options, but they look vulnerable this week, the Tigers, up against the Western Bulldogs. All right, Rage Trades in the books for round 20. 5 rounds to go. We're going to monitor Tom Zaccone this week. He's named as a test for the Saints. If I can get out to Moorabbin, I will. But it's possible that our Rowan Marshall pick will be a little diluted from this week going forward. All right, thanks for your time on the podcast. Catch you soon on Go Fantasy.